welcome back to Homestead Heart, and today we are about to do some canning. This to me is my favorite time of year to actually do some canning, especially those items that take the longest to can, like beans and meats, things that take a long time, soups and stews. I prefer doing it in the late fall and winter months. Yes, I do. So today we are canning some Louisiana style red beans to go over some rice. Yes, we are. Now, before we get started, let me be clear when I say red beans, all right? I am not talking about kidney beans, okay? For example, these right here. They say red beans, I know. But these are kidney beans. I do not eat these. Actually, none of us do. We don't even like the flavor. These to me are, ew. But that's just me. I don't like them, okay? However, Mr. H, when he went to get me some red beans, he picked up 3 bags of these. You know what I was talking about? But they, in his defense, they had them all in the wrong spot. So he thought he was grabbing these. The small red beans. I love these. These are so good and they are so flavorful. I just love these red beans, okay? So, now if you like kidney beans and you want to use these instead for making your red beans, you can, all right? But I'm just saying, we don't like them. So those right there, we're going to ask my neighbor because I know they like beans, but I'm not sure if they like these. If they like these, we'll just pass them along. If not, they're going back to the stove so I can get my red beans. All right. So let me show you what I am doing. All right. So first and foremost, I have my beans on the stove. Now I prepare my beans a day ahead. I have a video on how I prepare my beans for canning, and I will put that in the card somewhere so that you can see that. But I pretty much prepare all of my beans the same way. So now those beans I've already sorted them. I've already washed them. I've already soaked them overnight, and then I drained them and rinsed them well, and I added some clean water and put them back on the stove, and they have been boiling on the stove now for about an hour. So now I'm ready to go ahead and get started with my next step. I do have my All-American pressure canner in the back here. Use the PRESTO pressure canner, whatever pressure canner you have that's made for canning, you can use it for this, all right? Now, to get started, you're going to need whatever spices you like, but me, I'm gonna get to my spices. But I have bell pepper, celery, and onion that's going in mine. It's got to be packed full of flavor. It's got to be packed full of flavor. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to chopping up my vegetables and setting them to the side. I'm not adding them to this hot pot of beans because I don't want them to just kind of fall to pieces in the pot while the beans are cooking because they're about to pressure can for 90 minutes. So I'm going to leave these to the side, but I'm going to show you what I'm doing. All right, so the first thing I'm doing is giving a rough chop to my celery. You can use as much or as little as you like. And you can chop these as thick or as fine as you like. This is actually a whole bag of celery, okay, that I'm going to be using. And I don't chop mine up too fine. We like our vegetables chunky. Celery ready. Bell pepper. onion. All right, you all, next I'm going to start with cooking up or barely cooking up about 3 pounds of ground turkey. In this pot, I have 3 pounds of red beans. In this pot, I have 2 pounds of red beans. So I do 1 pound of meat per pound of beans. So 3 pounds of red beans, 3 pounds of ground turkey. Now, to season this up, I'm going to add in a little bit of my favorite seasoning at Tony Satura's. I'm going to add in a little bit of salt. Next is a little bit of white pepper. Cumin. And this is about 2.5 teaspoons of cumin. It's really going to be to your taste, okay? Garlic powder. If you have fresh garlic, feel free. Onion powder. All right. Now I'm going to mix this all up. Okay, y'all. So now while I'm waiting for my turkey to finish up here, just a couple more minutes is all it has, I'm going to go ahead and season up this batch of red beans, okay? And this is ground turkey, but if you prefer ground beef or lamb, if that's what you prefer, you can use that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this seasoned up, and I've refilled my garlic powder. I'm going to start with my garlic, and I'm going to add about a good tablespoon, heaping tablespoon to that. And remember, you all, this is all about what you want to taste, okay? I'm going to add just a little bit of onion powder, not a lot. I'm going to add a heaping tablespoon or so of my cumin. Going to add to this my favorite, some smoked paprika. I'm going to add a good heaping tablespoon of this as well. You know we can't forget this. My Tony Satura's. All right, this is good to go right here. My ground turkey is good to go. Most of the pink is out. I'm going to shut the fire off of that and let the heat finish getting that itty bitty pink that's left. It'll be all right. I'm going to go ahead and give this a stir. Ooh, that smells so good. Y'all, this smells so good. Get it a stir. And these beans, like I said, they did soak overnight. I need to break that clump up. They did soak overnight. And they did cook for an hour on the stove. Tablespoon of salt to this because it's a big batch of beans. Okay. All right, y'all. Now, moving on. All right, you all. Now it's time for me to add everything else. Let me straighten y'all up. So I'm going to add half my onion to this. Half my bell pepper. And this is only because this is what I'm putting in it now. Again, you can add as much or as little as you like. And my celery. Yeah, y'all, we working with this Trinity. Can't have red beans and rice without the Trinity, y'all. Can't do it. Okay. Now I'm going to give this a stir. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Okay, let me calm down. Ooh, wait. I'm gonna try to get as much of this ground turkey in this pot as I can. I don't know how it's gonna go. You know what? I forgot something, but that's okay. I forgot something. I probably don't even need it. I ain't gonna worry about it. If you want to add some bouillon to this, like some better than bouillon or bouillon cube, if you want to do that, you can do that, okay? But I think this right here is fire. I don't think I need to touch this. I'm trying to get all this turkey in here. Oh, man. All right. All right. Y'all see this pot? I need a bigger stock pot. Oh, Suki now. Hey! Yes, it is. I'm going to sit this to the side for a second. My jars are in the oven heating up. I'm going to get my canner on the stove. It'll only take a second for that water in this canner to start to warm up. Because if you use hot product, remember, hot product means it goes in hot jars into a hot canner. Not boiling, but hot, okay? Because cold jars, hot product, hot canner equals crack and maybe boom. We don't want no boom boom, okay? All right, y'all. I got my lid sitting right here in warm water. My red bean mixture, so Hearty mix, is ready to go. You can see the smoke coming from the canner. I got this on low, and my jars are in the oven nice and hot, and we are ready to start jarring this stuff up. I got my beautiful gloves that one of our subscribers sent to me, so I wouldn't burn up my hands. She didn't want me to burn them up, so I'm gonna use these, and these are, oh my god, they're so comfortable. They're called Temptations, and these are oven safe gloves, and I'll be using these to take my jars out of the oven. All right, y'all, I had to make some adjustments. That little pot I had and that other pot with the beans in it, what I'm about to do was not gonna work with them two little pots. So I had to combine them, and they're all in this one big pot. So I have total now 5 pounds of beans, 3 pounds of ground turkey, and roughly 2 pounds of smoked turkey sausage. You can use beef if you like, whatever you like, okay? But this is turkey sausage. Let me cover this back up. And I'm just going to go ahead and get these just cut real quick into some circles and then get them in my skillet. You know, the little circles. Nothing fancy, just some circles. Cut them as thin or as thick as you like, okay? Oops. See? Thin or as thick as you like. And I'm getting them in my skillet. Because I am going to saute these just for a minute. All right, y'all, we're all set. I have my sausages all cut up, ready to go here. I'm not adding it to the pot. I'm doing it a little different. I'm not putting them in a pot because sometimes they get lost in the game of things, right? So I'm not putting them in the pot. I'm putting them directly in my jars. Let's get started. All right, my jars are still hot. They've been sitting in the oven. I took out 4 because that's all I'm taking out at one time. All right, y'all, I'm ready. My pot's ready. Just sit that right there. Gonna give this a stir. Oh my goodness, this smells so good. Let's go ahead and get this started. Wait a minute. Let's have it. It's habit. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this ladled in. Well, I can sit it down, just hold it. There we go. This is a nice chunky red beans mixture for my red beans and rice. Gonna grab just a little bit of the sausage. In it goes. Then I'm gonna fill this the rest of the way, leaving just a 1-inch headspace. All right. Then I'm going to sit this one to the side and move on to the next jar. I'll get them all filled up first. Actually, I could add in my little scoop of sausage to each one of my jars here. Yeah. Then I can go ahead and fill these up. One-inch headspace. Sit these to the side, y'all. There we go. Moving on to the next one. Now I'm making sure I have plenty of liquid in this jar as well. All right. Everything is at a 1-inch headspace. Actually, before I wipe those rims off, I am just going to give this a quick little mix around here. And I'm going to do this for all of my jars, even the two you can't see. Okay, I'm going to sit this to the side. Now I'm going to wipe off my rims. Remember, we wipe off the rims so that there's nothing to get in the way of the jar sealing. Meaning, once I put this lid on, I don't want anything in between that glass on the top of this jar and that rubber under the bottom of that lid. Okay, so everything has been wiped now. I'm going to take my lid. See that rubber there? We don't want anything between that and the glass. Put this on each one of my jars. Then I'm going to put a band on. Ooh, I think I got that one in some of that liquid. All right. That's what that looks like. And I am going to put these in the canner. Let me sit this to the side. I'm going to grab these other two so you could see that. Grab my band. Now I'm going to put these in the canner. All right, that's the first 4. They look good. I'm going to get some of that liquid in there now. forgot to put the sausage in these two, but that's okay. Hot. Well, I gotta wipe these rims. All right. Now I can get some in there. There we go. Okay. Grab some liquid. Make sure I have plenty of liquid in these jars. Give that a mix around in each one. I'm going to go around the rims of each jar. I already mentioned the importance of going around the rim of this jar, making sure that it has no cracks in it. Okay? And then my bands. Remember, do not crank down on these lids, okay? Look, see how easy I took that off? I'm gonna put it back on, and then that's it. I'm not gonna make it tight because we want the air to escape out of these jars, so we don't want it too tight for this type of lid, okay? Let's get them in the can. That's the first 7. I'm getting ready to stack quarts. All right, so I'm used to stacking pints, but this is my first time being able to stack quarts in my pressure can. This is exciting. Now this is a meal in and of itself. Even if you don't add rice, this is a meal all by itself. Just in case you are cooking something like this and you run out of liquid in your pot, it's as easy as this. Let me show you. Grab yourself some hot water and just fill it the rest of the way. And that's it. So if you feel like I ain't got enough liquid, it's okay. Into the calories are going. Last one, Hearty red beans and rice. Okay. I got all my jars in the canner. Forgot to take that off. And I've already went around the rim of this baby with some petroleum jelly. The same on the inside right here too. I did it all. So now I'm ready to put this on. I'm going to line this up, this arrow right here, with this notch right here. Okay. Then I'm gonna turn. Oh wait. Okay, it's on there. Should it be doing that? I don't know. This is my first time using this camera. Okay, so it looks to be even all the way around, okay? Okay, so now I'm gonna put these on, secure these in place, opposite sides, right? I'm not gonna tighten them too tight. I'm just going to get them in place first. Get them nice and snug. Then I'm gonna come back and tighten them up real good. Okay? I'm not over tightening, I'm just tightening them tight enough for me to be able to unloosen them. But they are on there tight though, okay? Then I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat up on this baby. I'm excited. I'm just looking to make sure that this is on properly. Okay, so what we're waiting for now is for this to start building up pressure and for this to start venting a steady flow of steam from this canner. It's going to be pushing out air, and it's going to do it through this pipe. And this has to vent like this for 10 minutes, okay? It has to vent like that for 10 minutes, all right? After it vents for 10 minutes, from my altitude, I'm gonna come back. I'm at 10 pounds. I'm gonna pop this over this vent pipe on the 10-pound side, okay? But we'll be back and I'm gonna show you what to do next. All right, y'all. As you can see, my canner is now venting. And what I am going to do is set a timer because it has to vent like this for 10 full minutes. Okay, so I'm going to start my timer. And I'm going to allow this to vent. Now, I'm going to go ahead and answer a couple of questions that I received via email. Actually, one of these questions I've received multiple times. And so I'm going to go ahead and answer that question right now. And I may revisit it again in a Q&A. But I've gotten the question, what happens if I forget to let my canner vent for 10 minutes and I process my foods anyway? And I'm paraphrasing. So let me explain. This process of venting, pushing the air out of the canner, is a very important step, okay? You do not want to allow air to remain in this canner and just put the weight on and then process for a certain amount of time, because more than likely your foods will be under processed, and if they are under processed, they will not be safe to eat. So you need to let this vent for 10 minutes. Pushing the air out is important because you got to bring the temperature up inside this canner. So it's highly important that you allow it to vent for 10 full minutes. If you forget to do that, then you can reprocess, okay? You're going to have to open them up, take the lid off, put on another lid. Yep, another lid. I'm not telling you to discard the other ones. I'm saying put on a fresh lid and then reprocess. But make sure you allow it to vent for 10 full minutes, okay? Now, the other thing was, what was it? I forgot. I remember. So, also, for all of my newbies who are wanting to get into canning, and you're asking, can I just can one item just to make sure that I can do it properly? Can I just can one jar of meat? And in pressure canning, the answer is no. In pressure canning, you have what is called a safe canning load or a minimum safe pressure canning load. It can be worded different ways, but it means the same thing. And that means in your pressure canner, you should have a minimum amount of jars in order to safely pressure can your food. So for example, if you decide to pressure can meat or beans or whatever, if you decide to do quarts, you need to have a minimum of 2 quarts, not 1. Okay? So you want to make sure you have at least 2 quarts in a pressure canner, or 4 pints. Okay? Can't be 1 something. It can't be 1. That's not advised. Okay? I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just telling you it's not wise. So remember that safe canning load, and remember to let your pressure canner vent a steady flow of steam for 10 minutes. All right? All right. Okay, my 10 minutes is up. I'm going to put this on the side for my altitude, which is 10 pounds. I'm going to pop it right over that vent pipe. Okay? And I'm going to wait for this baby to start jiggling. And once it starts jiggling, it's probably going to get a little aggressive. But then I'm going to start reducing my temperature, because the goal is to have it do just a little jiggle wiggle. You know, just a little, something like that. So once in, plus this has to come all the way up to 10 pounds as well on this gauge right here. So once this comes up to 10 pounds of pressure, and I can get this little weight right here at a nice, steady, relaxed type of a jiggle, then I'm going to start setting my timer, because this has to process for 90 minutes. After 90 minutes, hour and a half, I'm going to come back. I'm going to turn the fire off, and I'm going to leave this canner alone. Okay? And I'll tell you why in just a second. Okay, so now that my little weight is jiggling, and this is at about 11 pounds of pressure, I am going to slowly reduce the heat on this. Okay? I'm not going to reduce it too fast, but I'm going to slowly reduce the heat so that it can stop with the excess jiggling. Like I said, I wanted just a jiggle here and there.
Okay.
All right, see that? No jiggle? Jiggle. No jiggle? Then maybe a little jiggle, right? So this is what we want right here. All right. I'm going to set me a timer for 90 minutes. All right, y'all. The timer has gone off. It's been an hour and a half. It's cold outside. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn the fire off, okay? That's my time. Okay, now I have turned off the fire. For all of my newbies, just because you turn the fire off don't mean that this is done, okay? So what this has to do is just sit here Do not bother it, okay? Don't move it off from the hot eye to the cool eye. Leave it right where it's at, okay? Don't touch it. Now, what's going to happen is, I don't know how long it's going to take for this one to come down from pressure. I know in my little Presto, it probably took about 40 to 45 minutes to come down from pressure after a 90-minute canning time. But for this one, I don't know. So I'm going to be timing it to see. It's 6:33 right now. I'm going to time it so that I'll know how long it'll take. It might be like an hour and something. Who knows? But in any case, when this comes down from pressure, this gauge right here has to be all the way down to 0. All right? And once it gets down to 0, then I will come in and I will start to loosen these knobs right here. Okay? But I'm going to remove the weight first. Once it's at 0, remove weight. Okay? And then I will come and unloosen the knobs. And then I will turn the lid, but I'm going to leave it there. So this is going to be a bit of a process, but I'm going to show you. All right? So y'all stick around. We ain't done yet. All right, y'all. It has been better than an hour, more like an hour and 20 plus minutes since this baby finished canning. So this is down to 0, but this actually came down to 0 in like 30 minutes or so, but I wasn't convinced, so I left it here. So it's been about an hour, like I said, an hour and 20 minutes. Look at this. It's still got a little hiss going. And this is warm, but it's not burning hot. So I'm going to take that off. Ooh, here we go. I'm going to start unloosening these. Okay, that one easy enough. Now I'm going to unscrew the lid. All right. So far, everything looks okay. Let's go ahead and start taking them out. I got 13 quarts in here. Ooh. Right away, I can tell that I had a little bit of siphoning going on here. And that can happen sometime, but I could tell that a few of my jars has lost a little bit of liquid, but that's okay. They're going to be all right. $13 quarts of some hearty red beans, ground turkey, and sausage. This is gonna be perfect over rice. And they are pinging already, so that's a good sign. Yes, they are. Now you can see, look at the vegetables floating to the top of that. That's okay, I'll mix that in once they cool down. Now these jars, because of the siphoning, look at the top of the lids. Look at that. So I'm gonna have to clean that up real good once these jars cool all the way down. So yes, 13 quarts. I had enough for 14 quarts, 5 pounds plus the 3 pounds of ground turkey and the sausage would have given me enough for 14 quarts. But that last quart, y'all know we had to do that. We had to eat that. All right, y'all, that is going to do it for today. 14 quarts of red beans. I mean, a hearty red bean with all of the ground turkey and the sausage in there. Can you imagine spreading that over some rice? And these are nice and seasoned. They are perfectly seasoned. They are delicious. They taste so good. There's nothing I will have to do to this when I open it except for heat it up and pour it over some rice, and that's that. Yeah, this was my very first canning experience with my 930 All-American pressure canner. And I have to say, I absolutely love it. I love it, okay? Now, I will say this, because it is such a heavy canner, if I'm gonna, and more than likely I'm gonna be doing big batches anyway, but if I'm gonna do like a small batch or something, I might pull out my lighter canner. But when it comes to like getting the job done, and you're gonna have multiple, because all the paints that I could get in here will make light work of it, right? And being able to put in 14 quarts, I would have had to do this twice in my other canner, right? I would have had to do this twice. I would have had to can it, let it cool down, take it out, wash it out, heat it back up again, put them back. I would have had to do this twice. But I was able to get them all done, all of them in one. And that's going to be perfect for me and all of the canning that I do, because more than likely, I'm always canning a lot. I don't ever hardly ever can a little bit of anything. It's always going to be more than likely quite a bit. So my All-American 930, I absolutely love this canner. I sure do. And now, yes, it's got me thinking about the smaller one. The one that just holds the 7 quarts. It's got me thinking about that one. Yes, it does. Because, yeah, what a great piece of equipment to have in your arsenal. And when you don't want to can 14 quarts, you might only want to can 7 quarts. Pulling out the smaller canner would be even better. So, how do I feel about it? I absolutely love it. Is it worth the cost? Oh, yeah. It's definitely worth the cost, okay? So yeah, y'all, I'm excited about it. I am gonna get it cleaned up. It's extremely hot, and because it's so hot, I'm not gonna make it cool down by putting cold water and all of that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna pour the liquid out of it, okay? I'm gonna pour the liquid out of it, and then I'm gonna get some warm water, and I'm gonna start to wash this canner. But I will not put this hot canner in cold water, okay? Do not do that, all right? You don't want to take a chance on damaging your canner, okay? So that's going to do it for tonight. It is 8 o'clock. I got to get this baby cleaned. Got to get this baby cleaned up. I love that sound. I got to get this baby cleaned up and get it ready for tomorrow, because I got more canning to do. Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. And I might take y'all along with me while I do that too, because why not? All right, y'all, that is going to do it for tonight. This has been a wonderful experience. This has been great. My first time using my canner. What's her name? I don't know yet. I can't name her Big Bertha, because y'all remember my peach tree? That's Big Bertha. So I can't name her Big Bertha. I gotta name her something else big. But Bertha just go with that, don't it? Big Bertha. It just go with it. but I can't do it. I already got my peach tree outside that's named Big Bertha. So I gotta come up with something different. Somebody said candy girl. I thought that was cute. So yeah, I gotta come up with something, y'all. I'm struggling with that name. But it's got to be something to go with this big girl right here. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for tonight. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that we upload to our channel. It's smelling good in this kitchen, y'all. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me today and for watching me can my hearty red beans. Ooh, that's some chunky stuff in there. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next canning video.